Bubbles for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim main quest.
If you're wondering why you're seeing the cart ride here, it's because in order to get the naming incentive, you actually need to start a new game and get to that point where you can enter your name. In the meantime, a few things about Skyrim that are good to know. You will again be playing as a high elf again because of the same reason as Oblivion. They're taller, therefore they're faster. Just a thing in Elder Scrolls games. Additionally, you could play as an orc. They're almost as tall, and they have an ability that allows them to take less damage and deal more damage.
Yeah, they've got the Berserker Rage ability that they come with, but there's a bugged form of having like infinite stamina power attacks with like double weapons, so it doesn't really matter who you play as, so you choose the tallest character back for the speed.
Yeah, it ends up being, it's not a ton faster to play high elf, but it is significant enough that all the top runs use high elf.
Yeah. You only fight two things anyway, so it's much better to have like the speed advantage throughout the entire run than it is to have like one less attack among like two fights.
Yeah, and if you want to be the meme, basically you'd be the shortest race, which is the wood elf male. They actually have a speed penalty because they're so short.
You would think they would be like some of the fastest because they're, you know, like the wood elf. They're meant to be like the acrobatic and athletic and the bow and arrow people. But nah, just like the mages. It's just whoever's the tallest, whoever's got the longest legs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't really like see any of these guys. The run's gonna start right away, and I'm not gonna do like any of this tutorial. So, yeah, it's all gonna happen pretty quick. I'm gonna go into an infinite sprint, followed by an out of bounds, followed by dialogue skipping. Actually, no, that was a sequence break, and then dialogue skipping, and then a load warp. Yeah. So a bunch of stuff has to happen right in the start.
Yeah, because right now his hands are bound, and he's through the sequence breaking. He's gonna skip the natural way of you getting your hands untied so you can hold weapons and stuff. But yeah, Bubs is gonna accommodate for that later.
Yeah, right now we just have to wait through this long cutscene because somebody decided to have a file name incentive. I totally forgot until like last night. I was like, oh yeah, we have to watch this whole cutscene if we want to have a file name. Isn't it, it's Karl Marx?
Yeah, the current file name is Carl, C-A-R-L, Marks, M-A-R-K-S.
Okay. I don't know why. I was asked before this run if there's some sort of like inside joke or what, you know, it's just translation for chat, inside meme. So, but I have no idea what it is. Just so if anyone wants to let me know.
But yeah, you heard Bubbles talk about like an infinite sprinting glitch, and to my knowledge, that's done by starting a sprint and quick saving and then quick loading.
Yeah, you gotta let go of sprint and then quick load as you're like dying down from the let go, and then it'll maintain the sprint without you needing to hold shift. And so you can't sprint and jump in this game, but if you can do that, you can, because the sprinting isn't what's stopping you from jumping, it's holding down shift part. So, yeah, so that mostly matters. So high elf, we're done. Finish and name your character. Okay. My shift on my keyboard has been bad. Oh, because I'm on caps lock. Karl Marx.
Alright, there's a bit more cutscene, and then timing starts when you gain control of your character.
Thank you very much for donating for the Oblivion and Skyrim file names. Appreciate that. The charity appreciates that as well. We're at about 43, almost 44,000 raised. That's pretty cool. For the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. So, it's a really nice charity, actually. I know a lot of people are skeptical on where to send their money to make sure it's going to a good cause, and you can trust this one.
Ulfric Stormcloak. Some here in Helgen call you a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power like the voice to murder his king and use.
I like how they just like covered up his mouth with a cloth to like no shouting allowed. Every time this scene happens, I always think about that mod, the where's the Macho Man Randy Savage is every dragon mod.
Or Thomas the Tank Engine.
And so they're like, "Do you hear that noise?" And it's like, "Oh yeah," out in the mountains. And it's like, "It's a dragon. Get some." And it's like, and we're all like running away.
Yeah, there's some amazing mods for Skyrim. Then again, you can also be like me, where I had to. I had a period of time in between patches early on where I was just unable to get Alduin to spawn right, so it would always soft lock at this part when I wanted to start a new game.
Just this is the saddest game then, because it just ends here then.
He'd just fly around endlessly. I think he was doing the backwards flying thing, but I'm not entirely sure too.
Yeah, so the High Elf is next. That's me. They couldn't say Karl Marx. They didn't put that name in the game. So yeah, just like another Elder Scrolls game, we start off as a prisoner. And then suddenly we're a good guy. So yeah, we typically decide between like Stormcloak and Imperial guys here, but not really like the classes, just which guy to follow. But we're just going to follow neither.
And get ready to start the timer.
Yeah, we're going to start the timer as soon as I begin movement. So like right when my camera flicks up, it'll be pretty clear.
And now.
So yeah, now I'm infinite sprinting. And here's our buddy.
One of the nice things about this version of the infinite sprint glitch, because it's actually not the only one in this game.
My infinite sprint went away. That's why I didn't make that jump. That was
Yeah.
weird.
So
Sometimes that just happens.
there are two ways to infinite sprint in this game. There's the rather well-known torch glitch, where you start sprinting, put a torch away, and then the game just doesn't have an animation to have you stop running at that point, so you keep running. But you lose stamina, and if you jump or anything, you lose it. Whereas this version of the infinite sprint glitch is superior because you don't have to worry about stamina, and you can jump, and it also is going to come into play later because there is another glitch that we'll get to, and the fact that you can't actually strafe while you're in this version of the infinite, while you're sprinting at all, is actually useful. Meanwhile, he just did a load warp there. It's the same general principle. You also have to have a jump
This is so hard. I hate this load warp on this keyboard, but I only brought one keyboard because this keyboard's good for Oblivion.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I have to enter and pause at the same time it's fading in. And it's really hard because inputs are delayed in this game. Like, I'm moving after the pause. That's how delayed it is. So it's hard to make sure that I move before the pause happens.
Yeah, this is the necessary low warp to get your hands unbound, right?
yeah.
Well, my hands are, they just got unbound by the guy.
Okay.
But this skips the entire tutorial. So that's why it's really good. It saves like 5 or 6 minutes or something. I don't know. Probably less. But,
It's a little bit less because of some out of bounds, but otherwise the alternative is basically doing plate or bucket clips, which you'll see a fair number of later.
so I navigate to main menu from the darkness there. And then I load the save file that I made on the inside. And so now I can leave out to Skyrim, and I skipped the tutorial.
Yeah, that trick actually is incredibly precise. I want to say it's frame precise.
Yeah, I do too, just so it sounds harder, but it's probably not.
If Dr. T-Chops is in chat, he'll probably just say, yeah, it's this. Shoutouts to Chops.
It feels like it's hard. Yeah. There's obviously multiple frames with the fade out, but like that's not when you press the pause input. So yeah. So yeah, infinite sprinting up the hill. I can jump and sprint, which is something you're not supposed to normally do. I'm going in this direction because I need a horse, and you guys are in for a treat.
Oh yes.
This horse tilting, there's only like 3 runners who have like low times. Myself, Kronos, Returns, and the Great Waz. And getting low times in this game and competitive times requires you to be pretty good at doing horse tilting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make a third-person save file up here so my speed can transfer between a save file because it's in third person. I will wait an hour. Horse will spawn. I get horse.
The hunter's going to attack him, but that's okay.
Yeah, he's preoccupied with the bandits as well.
He's going to try to dismount the horse at like a 90-degree angle. And for some reason, when you dismount the horse at a 90-degree angle, it doesn't know what to do with your speed. So he can do this.
Yeah, what's actually happening there is the game doesn't know where to place his character, so it just kind of tries to put him somewhere, and it ends up giving him a ton of speed. So he just discovered High Hrothgar there, and now he's... okay. So he's
Do
trying
I still
to...
have enough speed? I can just quick load, right?
Yeah, probably, honestly.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I had to go backwards and then quick load, so now I'm right here. Nah, not enough speed yet. Died out.
Yeah, so you do gradually lose speed when you're tilting, so that's another factor. You also don't want to get too much speed. In fact, if you let it go too long, you'll get so much speed that the game will just straight up crash.
That's a little less speed, which is good. I want to get a little height from that, and then up here to High Hrothgar.
It is incredibly easy to die while doing this.
Yeah, that just getting up to High Hrothgar takes a few days of like practice and getting to know how to tilt before you can get to there. This should work.
And just somehow that avoids fall damage?
Yep, it's water in video games.
Yeah, I'm fine. A little splash, spawn dive, 10 points.
And nice little warp here. You know, you can anchor a guard and, just go directly to jail.
Mm-hmm.
But I paid off the guard with the money that I got from the carriage, so I'm not going to jail. It would be faster to go to jail, but I'm doing like a safer route for money because money is like RNG based.
And it's actually important in this run. So
First try.
Nice. So this is
Well, second try.
this is one of the more recently discovered things. So he just went up to that tanning rack and used it, and now he's setting up a tilt. So
this whole run's gonna make no sense to you guys.
so right now he has no collision. This is what is called a ghost tilt. Basically, by tilting from a state of the tanning rack.
I love how you're trying. Like
the game just doesn't give him collision. So now he's going around discovering a bunch of different locations, and that's going to allow him to fast travel. And now he's up at the throat of the world.
Yeah,
but he is.
When you quick save and quick load when you're out of bounds and underneath something, it will up warp you to like ground level. But oh no, not quick load. It'll up warp you to ground level. So I want to make sure that I actually am at an altitude that can discover a throat of the world. And I was a little too high up there. So I gotta do this again until I can quick save, quick load while horse tilting to discover throat of the world during the tilt. It's probably the most inconsistent part of the run, but it's not a big deal if you mess it up.
This is so crazy.
It's amazing how the various glitches and just lateral thinking come together, because a lot of these glitches, it's like there's an intended mechanic, an unintended mechanic, a weird exploitation of both of those, and then just one little bit of shoddy code that allows it to all come together. And if any of those things was not the way it was, it wouldn't work.
I'm just going to do that, yeah. And so now here we are at Karthspire, so we can get to Skyhaven Temple. I know this all makes so much sense to you guys.
So this is like much later in the quest line, but again, you don't have to do everything in order necessarily. It's often faster to do things a little bit out of time. Also, with infinite sprint, a high elf can just do this. A little bit of parkour, and you skip that puzzle.
That was so good.
In case we ever wondered why they were called high elves.
Yo, drugs. Okay. Now we're going to the Whiterun Stables, which I discovered during that ghost tilt, as you all noticed. And so now I got money so I can afford to go to Dawnstar. And Dawnstar, there's another tanning rack there and a merchant, so I can get all the money I need for the rest of the run, so I can get more carriage rides and get married. And
Yes,
but
you
I
heard
don't-
that right.
I get married twice in this run. So
Yeah, so you might wonder, how's he going to get all this money? He didn't really pick up anything valuable, and that's true, but you can just sell a merchant's inventory to them, and it works.
Literally sell back their own inventory. That's so ridiculous.
Yep. So now he's using this blacksmith forge to set up a ghost tilt. It's a little bit trickier.
I'm not sure. Sometimes it like looks like I got it, but you have to just check. So I got it, and just like the tanning rack one, I will tilt from it. I hope that's fast enough. This one you really don't want to be too fast, and you want to make sure it is fast enough. So I'm going to discover Septimus's cave. Got it. I've done this a few times. So discover Catla's farm. So I can fast travel there later because a guard is there, and it brings me to Solitude.
Oh, East Empire Warehouse could be worse. Oh, there's Catla's farm.
And now I'm here at the Thalmor Embassy.
And in Ellenwind Solar already. So, unique to this quest,
We just skipped half the game.
if you complete this quest, the game just kind of assumes that you have the main quest complete up to this point. And for whatever reason, that's the only quest that really does that.
So now we need to go to Riften because for some reason we know who Esbern is, or like what Esbern is, and we're gonna go rescue him, so he can decrypt this something map or something, punch a horse butt, and then go to jail. And that's faster than just going in because they force you to have this like dialogue with them. I actually could do like a parkour to go in a different way, but it's still, this is faster for getting into the rat way.
Yeah.
It's so annoying for like infinite sprinting right here. Okay, good.
Because the Ratway is right by the palace, and you always end up going to the palace or the Jarl's longhouse, depending on the hold you're in.
You say hold urine?
Hold you are in.
Okay, okay. I heard what I heard. So yeah, I'm gonna make my way to Esbern, getting through the ragged flagon, and I'm gonna get a bucket.
Buckets are magic in this game.
They're good for clipping. People have probably seen the glitches where like you hold something up and then you run into it and it lets you go through a wall.
Yeah.
That still happens, but buckets are the easiest for doing that. There's actually 2 types of buckets in this game, so I make sure to grab a certain type.
I also I can't help but miss YOLO Bucket. YOLO Bucket was a trick that allowed you to basically bucket hover up Skulldafn at the end of the game, and it was great, but it's obsolete.
Yeah, 'cause horse tilting's OP. So I'm skipping dialogue so I can get into here faster with Esbern. And I made sure to wait an hour to probably just save like half a second of Esbern's movement, but also to make sure my clock lines up well for a lot of other things in the run. A lot of clock-based management to making sure all the NPCs are in the right areas. And so there we go, talking to him, trying to get him out of the cell fast, and instead of just like backtracking throughout the whole thing, I get to do one more load warp. No, what did I just do? I took his book. I didn't mean to do that.
Well, he doesn't care, fortunately.
Is it this one? No, that's the save. Okay, good. Yeah, I have different like save setups at home, so bear with me. Oh, first try. So no more of those, which feels great.
Yeah. Load warps are pretty important, but because they're difficult, it's a good feeling to get past them.
Yeah, I would still rather load warp than backtrack out of there or do Helgen. So the things that it replaces aren't like insignificant at least. So take another bucket. And I'm pretty much just going to wait for Esbern to appear here. And then talk to Delphine, and I just stay outside as Mom and Dad fight. Brings back memories. And just quick saving, quick loading, so their dialogue skips faster. I already waited an hour, which is the most paramount part of skipping the dialogue. There's this bug that you can get that completely cuts off all like the UI in the game that makes it so you can't see when you're completing quests. And it's pretty good I haven't gotten it this run. It's really annoying. You can't tell when you're discovering things. You can't tell when you're completing quests.
And another thing he did there was he just used fast travel instead of waiting to have time elapse.
I'm going to steal the thing from Septimus so I don't have to actually go all the way through Blackreach. Or no, I have to steal the thing from Septimus, and then I'm going to make it so I don't have to go all the way through Blackreach. The two are unrelated, but happening around the same time.
So, there we go. Gotta get a successful steal there. Sometimes it takes a couple tries.
Yeah, it's a 50% chance, but it sometimes does not feel like that. So, okay, time for one of my favorite. It's probably better to do that. Load warps in the game. Not load warps, horse tilts. Okay. So, precisely setting myself up. That should be really good. Wait for it. Go. Okay, and so now I'm at
the
Tower of Mazark, I
yeah,
think.
Tower of Mazark. And inside here is an Elder Scroll, which he's going to need. And he's going to just kind of clip in there just enough that he can activate the elevator down into the tower. And that's actually not very hard to do.
Okay, I need to concentrate here because this puzzle's really hard. I think I almost got it. Oh my god. Pro gamer.
The hardest puzzle.
So, yeah, here comes the Elder Scroll. It's the thing that's the title. It's the title of the game right here. So, alright. So now I'm gonna go get a husband. Which, what are you laughing at? That's 2019. Come on.
So, there were a few options that people thought, like, who's the fastest person, to get married to.
This has nothing to do with speed. I love this man, okay?
So he's going to talk to Marmal so he can get married. And then over here is Marcurio, a hireling. So he's going to pay him 500 gold to hire him. And then ask, hey, you want to marry me?
That's how it worked in the Skyrim days.
Yeah.
Sure. Ask your mom and dad.
You just wear an amulet of Mara, and then if someone wants to get married to you,
Not
they'll
quite.
say, hey, an amulet of Mara, wow.
Yeah, I had to make sure I did all that right there. So yeah, now I've got a husband, but he's going to follow me around until the wedding happens, so I have to make sure that I do waiting in all these increments. And it's fast for reasons. Just, it sounds so not fast. Just like until later. You have to trust me. It gets fast. So I'll wait an hour there for Delphine to appear next to Esbern.
And now this is Dragonbane. This is
I have 4 of them.
a nice sword that he just duplicated twice. There are a couple ways to duplicate, but it involves basically tricking the game into letting you pick up the item while it's still in your inventory.
So we're... You ever heard of such a thing? You're probably right. Right.
Meanwhile, he bumped Esbern a couple times there because that one of his dialogue triggers is based on location, so that gets him to that location faster.
Well, the waiting gets him to his location faster, but sometimes some of his lines of dialogue aren't skippable. So if you bump into him, that's one way to skip it.
Yeah, the dialogue optimization in this game is actually a little complicated. So
The front door to High Hrothgar is locked.
yeah,
So we got to go through the back door, and I gotta stop saying that. And then using the bucket to clip through. And the Greybeards have acted like we've been friends for days. They're really lonely.
So are you gonna be late to your wedding?
Probably not. But even if I am, it's not a big deal.
I mean, you seem pretty preoccupied.
Well, yeah, I gotta go talk to a dragon and some old guys. A spoiler on the dragon part. So I'm gonna make sure that they're outside and then skip a lot of their dialogue and actions before I go outside. And this loads in a few pieces of the shout, Clear Skies on the ground. So the second one will instantly get absorbed. So that one and that one instantly absorbed, and now I'm here. So that saves a little bit of time and dialogue, of course.
and Clear Skies is actually required to beat the game.
It is. You need to clear the skies in, I think they call it Sovngarde.
Yeah, in Sovngarde.
To bring Alduin down, to make him appear. Clear skies, combine your shouts. The only plot I know is in the speedrun, so it's a really weird story to me. Okay, at this point I actually really hope that I don't miss my marriage, but I probably shouldn't. Alright, so I've got to learn the fire shout. Even if I miss the marriage, I think it's fine. Just not entirely sure what the backup is immediately. I think I just like get remarried. Shoot fire in his face to prove that I can shoot fire in faces. Gotta make sure you don't tell him that it's none of his business. Because whatever I'm doing up here is probably his business. Yeah, just skipping through dialogue. And then, okay, so, yeah, about to do like a big skip involving the marriage and Elder Scroll. So, the reason why I get married is because if I fail my marriage, it lets me move in a situation where I would normally be unable to move. Please let me know that I've still got my marriage. Good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to fail my marriage and use my Elder Scroll at the same time, so I warp back to that spot.
So, yeah. You walk into the temple, and then this happens.
And so now I can. Now I'm here at the Dragon Rend cutscene where they all fight Alduin in the past, and typically have to stand there and just watch. But I can finish the cutscene faster by killing the dragons myself. And then I can't quick save, quick load at all. Well, I can quick save, but there it is.
Also a nice little artifact in the map there.
Yes. I can't. Let me just be safe.
So he does want to make sure that he is able to get to Windhelm here, because the next thing he's going to have to do is to talk to the Jarls of the Jarl of Windhelm, Ulfric Stormcloak, and General Tullius, who you saw earlier. Oh, nice guard. Sometimes that guard just decides not to accept your surrender after you breathe fire in his face.
And something funny about the combat in this game is, you have charged attacks that take up stamina. For some reason, once you start a charge attack, and if you just like do another attack immediately after, before like the animation goes through, or maybe while the animation's going through, it just doesn't take stamina for some reason.
What doesn't take stamina is letting go of left click and right click, but we can still continue attacking by spamming left click and right click. So I hold down the buttons to start the power attack, but then I just like double click them really quickly to continue the attack. And you can follow through the entire thing. I just cancel the animation halfway through because that's faster DPS to just do the first half of the animation over and over and over instead of doing the full power attack. Oh, I should have probably done some stuff here because I'm speedrunning this.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of this cutscene that you can't skip, so it's a good time for a couple donations.
Well, not really. It's like done now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a little bit of time left before the cutscene finishes in the background. So I'm going to quickly talk to the Jarl of Whiterun to get a little bit more stuff done during this little auto-scrollery moment. And I have a backup save in case this next fight fails, which if it fails, it soft-locks your game. It's nothing to do with speedrunning, it's just because Bethesda made it.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, the back of his shirt just says, "It just works."
Yeah. I forgot to clear or like put in an input, which is only used for there, so it's pretty fair that I forgot it. I have to make sure that I can like bind a favorite with a thing, but I don't know.
Q is the default one, I think.
Yeah, but I have that as like, I normally have it as G, but it'll be fine. I'll just do this instead. I'll just equip Dragon Red and then. Oh, I missed. So, it's fine if you miss. He just talks a little bit more, and then you gotta just listen to him talk. It's faster to shout at him when you can't see him, so it's kind of like a little bit of a gamble. But yeah, he just talks a little bit more if you miss. So you want to try to hit him before he does all that talking.
So the Alduin fight is a little bit tricky.
I can't shout.
It's very position based. You want to ideally be getting hit by his wings, because that deals less damage than his bite, his flames.
Such a dumb bug in this game where you just can't shout sometimes. So like, you've got to wait for him to stop spinning and not even applying to physics. Where'd he go? The fight's gonna go by fine. Like I probably won't die at all, but
It just works.
okay, there he goes. Just take your time. You know, there's no rush. It's a casual playthrough. Don't worry.
I'm sure everybody did horse tilting in their casual.
I'm probably dead. Yeah.
That was about as close as it can possibly be. If that wasn't a double KO, it was like 10 HP Alduin or something.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have to imagine the fight died, because if I reload a save file that's during the fight, then he doesn't take damage anymore. And he just like is invincible, and then Parthenax will land in the air and never talk to you.
You know, because that's how it works apparently.
God, come back.
Yeah, Parthenax sometimes will just...
Yeah, this save file has the bound things too, which is nice. So, fixed 2 things that were wrong. But it's fine, yeah. Skipped like 3 seconds of a backup save file. The backup was more of like, the only mistake that was really made was like, not really having one of the buttons bound for equipping like making something like hotkey bound. And if that happened, then I would have been able to shout at him earlier, and then the whole fight would have been really fine. It's not a hard fight if everything works out fine, but it was kind of doomed from the start because of that one little piece. Everything needs to work out well. It's like one thing going wrong is the difference between like a really good player and a really bad player. So I was a pretty bad player right there, but it's fine. It's like the same run anyway.
So he doesn't actually have to go to Bleak Falls Barrow. He just has to do this conversation, because now he can talk to Jarl Barlgrove about getting a dragon in here. And he had to come here to talk to him earlier to get to this point in the dialogue, basically.
I keep my swords out because I'll need to put them away after yielding to a guard in a second anyway. So, here at High Hrothgar, gonna talk to Greybeards, because this is where we need to have the Peace Council. So before I start inviting people to the party, I need to make sure the host can actually do it, you know. Good thing he's right by this door, too. It's kind of optimal. It's most optimal if he's outside. Just among all the places he can be inside, this is the best. Okay, we can just like leave dialogues early. They still get the point. Should have just pressed the other map button. So yeah, we got our swords out for the guard that's right here. Oh wait, I can just like shout out. Yeah, I don't want to overcomplicate things. Typically he's like standing right next to me, so that's why I was just like a little forgotten. And so now this brings us to Solitude. And we can convince General Tullius to come to the Peace Council now.
One of the prisoners. Why don't you? Besides, I'm sure
I'm telling you.
And then when he's done with that, you just bump into him to finish the dialogue sooner.
why. There's nothing.
And so to trigger the availability for the next set.
Yes.
And then when he finally says yes, we can head out. And now we go talk to Ulfric Stormcloak. And then after Ulfric Stormcloak gets spoken to, I hope he doesn't shout at me. He will make his way to the Peace Council, and then that's everybody that goes to the Peace Council. But in the Peace Council, you sit down the whole time and you can't move. So that means we're going to get married again.
Hey.
Okay.
If that statement did not make sense, it shouldn't.
There's, yeah, you're feeling all the right feelings right now.
Mind if I jump in for a moment with a quick donation? Go for it.
Wait, there's one little piece of dialogue from the AI right here.
Okay, yeah, this is probably worth hearing.
I can't believe you're speaking to me after. All right.
Just like,
that. Come on, give me another chance.
this is one more
Sure.
marriage? Come on.
Okay.
It's like, all right, you sweet talk to me.
But yeah, go ahead with the donations.
All right, I have $100 from Mother and Brother DelFuego. Great job with the Elder Scrolls runs. Keep it up. Props to the narrator for making decent sense of everything happening.
Who's decent?
Who's making decent sense of anything right now? Wake up. Okay. He's rarely asleep like that. And so now I have the marriage set, but it's not as complicated as it was last time. I can fail it from a long distance now. just like all the internet relationships. So
Why, you can take damage?
you
Oh, yeah.
can
Yeah.
from self-bucket harm.
Like I said, sometimes interacting with objects where they kind of end up inside your sprite or whatever can it can damage you. And one time I must have had so much momentum with the thing that hit me that it insta-killed me. Another time,
Keep telling these stories. Okay.
yeah, another time I actually got shot forward into a gap that I just could not avoid because it just sent me flying, and I fell into a pit basically and died from fall damage. It was pretty amazing.
So I need to get out of the chair at the same time that he starts talking to me. That lets me stand up. That's the first part of this whole thing. So then I will wait and then drag it back down. So I waited 24 hours in like a 1 second period right there. And then now I can move again because I failed my marriage.
Aw.
And then now I'm going to go in and outside over and over again to skip the dialogue of this area faster. This is slower when you do typical runs because we judge based on without loads. So in-game time or without loads, this is slower, but in real time this is faster by like a minute or so. So you can, I'm just doing Peace Council, so if there are more donations, you can go right ahead.
Sure thing. I'll start off with $10 from Summer B76. RPG Limit Break is always a great event for a great charity with great runners and volunteers. Let's push to reach the Fight the Pizza Elemental incentive. That's coming up for the next run, Quest for Glory Collection. That's currently sitting at $442.54 out of $1,000. So if you want to see that, be sure to get your donations in for it now. We have $50 from Mechanalyst Tom. Keep up the good work. $6 from Shiogorath. Drink water. Thanks for that donation. Stay hydrated, Shiogorath. $10 from Miri Oki. Loving these events, and some of my favorites are coming up.
It's always good to stay hydrated.
He
Absolutely.
comes outside. There's a bug in this game where if someone's talking to you and then you leave, they can just like follow you to the same place that you're going to. So I should have exited out of that dialogue or like skipped it before coming back outside, just to keep up the consistency of this working. But it's probably just still fine.
Yeah. You'll have like a beggar come into your house sometimes.
All right. It's even weirder when like.
Dragonborn, what do you say? I should have known better than.
Oh wait.
We'll determine if you
Is that bad? I was supposed to press E there.
I get. So, Dragonborn, I knew I could count.
Okay, good. It doesn't lose the run; it just loses time.
Yeah, the Peace Council. There's kind of
You gotta say like
Yeah.
you can just like skip the questions that they ask you for the first two ones, but I forgot that you have to actually answer yes to that last one. I didn't forget. I was just kind of like, I was talking the same time that it happened, and I was like, that's why I was kind of like paused for a second because I had to remember what I was doing right there. So there we are. That's the whole Peace Council.
Hey. Also, I kind of just wanted to randomly say if I could, being here at RPG Limit Break, I had to miss my sister's birthday. Today is my sister's birthday, so I just want to say happy birthday, Lauren.
Hey, happy birthday, Lauren.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
I don't know your sister, but happy birthday, Lauren. Yeah. Happy birthday, Dave's sister. So sorry that I couldn't get you a better gift.
No, dude, that was perfect, man. That was perfect.
Oh, that opened fast. But yeah, I would need to equip Call Dragon because I just got that, and I'm about to learn that we're about to catch Odaving because he can bring us to Skull Dauphin, which brings us to Sovngarde. Odaving.
And yes, you can actually call him from inside there, and it's faster.
Okay.
Just waiting for a bit.
Okay, this should work. Got him, okay. Flings the guard. And he might not die. Okay, he's not. So that means Odoving is going to come back down and scoop him up. If he dies, it's faster. He's really committed to killing that one guard. Like, needs to happen before he can come down here, so. And even if you do run up and kill the guard, you really can't do it that fast. You may be able to, but yeah. Let me leave after he's done walking towards me. Come back in. And I don't have to fight this one. I just trap him. Oh, he's still coming. I'll just wait for the trap to get him.
Weird. You must have gotten distracted right as you were about to open the door or something.
Yeah, as long as he just takes like 2 steps and he's focused on me, he'll get trapped by the time I come back in. It's not a big deal though. So now I've got him all trapped, and he will help me know my way to Skoldafen. And he's the only person that can take me there. There's no available Ubers.
Yeah, today's an Uber strike, actually. But anyway, we don't need to talk about that.
Is there an actual Uber strike right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Instead, we can go to Skoldafen, and
There was no courier. Typically, there's the mailman.
yeah. And there's a rather silly glitch you can do with that. I don't know if that's going to be part of the glitch exhibition. But
Oh, nah, I don't even know what you're talking about, actually. There's too many in this game to keep track.
Yeah.
Hey, another horse tail. Yes.
Yeah, so this lets us get to the top of Skoldafen and skip Skoldafen and skip the entire dungeon, if this works. I'm going to get up this mountain, and then no, not enough speed.
Another one.
That should be better, especially since I'm going to the right to the start. I kind of prefer that. He starts you off with a little bit more height. I could just stop it there, but I'm kind of greedy. Okay. So
And
now
to
I'm going.
Sovngarde.
Yeah. Now I'm here in Sovngarde. There's one more tilt, but it's not that much time saver for RTA, but I still want to do it because they're fun. And just basically lets you get from across this mist field a little faster.
He had to run forward there because you don't want to start it from too high. It's
Yeah.
fall damage is a thing.
That's really good.
Yeah, you don't need much speed for this. In fact, you don't want much speed for it.
Oh, actually, I got stuck on too many things. But
Yeah.
yeah, imagine I would have just went further.
Yeah, he would have ended up pretty much right by Tsun up here.
Yeah, but if I tried it again, I would just be losing time at that point, and I can just run over here instead.
So yeah, what exactly causes you to stop?
I'm going in first person, or if I pull out my fists, I stop. But I just go into first person.
Okay.
You can only have that speed transfer over if you are in third person. Whoops. Okay, good. He backed away during the finale of my attack. You just do the triple attack and then the flame, but he backed away before the triple attack had the third part, so I had to hit him once or twice more. All right, so now I'm just going to quickly get the heroes from the Hall of Valor here, and they will help me take down Alduin in his realm, so he'll actually be taken down. Or is he? You know? Sequel, maybe? Ooh. Well, there is a sequel, but like in Elder Scrolls, the sequels are like never right after the last game, or before, or whatever. You know, they always certainly take their time.
Morrowind and Oblivion are pretty close in years, but it doesn't really matter much,
Yeah,
except for, like timeline stuff. They're rather disconnected from each other.
Yeah.
They're only
You
a-
hear a few things in this game that happened in Oblivion. Like there's a few books that talk about the great Martin Septim and how he once sacrificed himself and all that. And all these things and how the Great War of Oblivion that used to happen. And that's why there's like not too much Daedra in this game, because it's keeping to the plot.
Skipping a bit of dialogue, then starting the clear skies shouts. You don't have to be up there. You just can be.
It helps with shouting to where I need to be without shouting at them, which can stagger them and slow it down. And then, you know, I just like it.
So you do this 3 times as is video game convention, and then Alduin will come in and fight you.
This Alduin fight's gonna go much better, I promise. It is much more easy to die during this one too, but just the reason I died during the last one was not because Alduin's a god gamer or anything like that. Oh yeah, I shouted early there, but that's when I do shout. So then they shout, and then yeah, I don't want to stand over here when they shout because then they stagger me. Oh, he appeared over here. That's very uncommon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Gotcha. How'd I know you were gonna be there, huh?
Yeah, it's actually easier to hit him from that side. He just almost never goes that way.
Nice. Nice moonwalk. What is that? Let me just come over here. If you're by his wing, that's probably the best spot to be, because he will attack you over and over. Please shout at the boss. Oh yeah, I've got no stamina, so you can't shout when you have no stamina. There we go. Come back. Welcome back. Time's gonna be when he's dead.
So that's coming up. He has plenty of health at this point.
So thick.
And time.
Hey, that was underestimate. Just barely. We have time, so we can use it.
And after this, because you all donated for it, you're going to see some shenanigans.
Yes, we will.
I wonder if I can do a quick shenanigan right here. By, like, giving him something and then stealing it from him. Yeah. And if he's mad at me, they'll all attack him. And then they all can't die, and he can't die. So it's a constant fight. And so you can mess around with that after you beat the game ever. And I don't think I can leave now either, because soon is my way out of here. So the way I think I can leave is if, like, I think I can, like, de-aggro him by, like, leaving and coming back or something, or using console, but...
I'm pretty sure leaving and coming back would.
Okay. But anyway, I can just load a different save file to be somewhere else. So yeah, you guys donated for the glitch exhibition, and so I'm going to show off 4 things. The first one isn't really a glitch, I just really like it. But it's good enough for me. So I'm just going to load this Alduin backup save, because I tested a bunch of the glitches with this one, and I know it'll work. So, yeah, I think it was like $1,000 to raise for it, so that's pretty cool. Good job, guys.
That's right, yep. $1,000.
Thank you to that one person that donated $1,000. Nobody else. So, yeah, butterflies. They are solid objects. And this is something that you can do at home. I like showing off, whenever I do glitch exhibitions, I don't like to show off, like, overly complicated things, because it's also the simplicity that's cool about it. Like, how easy it is to do is the cool part. If I do, like, 3 hours of setup and then do, like, a 10-second glitch, you guys are just going to be like, oh, of course you can do that. If I had time to code the game, I could do that too. So I'm gonna wait for a butterfly to land.
Oh no.
And then you can butterfly. You can butterfly with them.
That one didn't take him very far. You can
I
go
know.
much farther.
Just land.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Come back to your home. No, he's underneath the thing. What about you? So yeah, you can mess around with this. I fell off.
Did you just push him into the ground?
He pushed me into the ground. So yeah, you can mess around with that. Butterflying's fun. There's a bunch here at the hunting brew meter if you want to check it out. I'll try to do one more here. But yeah, you can fly up really high and you can never leave, and you can just like set your game to idle and move around like that. Another one that I can show off is so in the beginning of the game I ran away from Helgen. No, I ran out of Helgen so I can make the load warp and skip the entire like Helgen dungeon area. But what happens if you just like keep running away with your hands bound, and I can't go into third person, I don't have a menu I can open. So I have to do one thing so I can see myself in the first place. I'm going to enable player controls, EPC. And so now I can go into third person at least, where I have the bounds on my wrists, but you can't see them. That's why you can't go into third person in this game, because there is no built-in animation or model for hands that are together when you're a player.
Oh
There is for like ourselves. So we've got enable player controls so we can see ourselves in third person. And whenever we get too far away from Helgen, it will really make sure that we can't use our hands. There are, make sure I don't die. You know, we've got our hands bound, so we can't use our hands, but just in case we get too far and the game thinks that we found a way to do that, it'll make sure that we have zero possibility of using our hands or arms at all.
Yeah, it usually happens when you get right about to Riverwood.
And it's really dark. Like, it's not even like they disappear. They got sucked inside of you. So we're going to re-enable player controls. And so... and everyone just talks to you normally.
We sure have our hands full with this one.
Oh,
Yeah. It's real good. Every time we just get stuck, we can just re-enable player controls and keep moving.
no,
It's-
dude.
Oh, it's so... Ah.
Holy crap.
It's really bad. Whenever it's not like they didn't know that this was a problem. Bethesda fixes so many things, by just making it so you can't go into third person. Like, oh, if you just can't see the problem, it doesn't exist. Like Schrodinger's bug or something. So, there's two more. I'm trying to, okay, I remember both. Let's load the Elder one back up because that's a decent one. And I will go to Dragon's Reach. It's a good place to do it. This one's really simple. You guys can do it even on console. I get asked all the time if you can do a lot of speedrunning stuff on console versions as well, and I can't say that you can do this speedrun on a console, or the same route that I did, but you can, I'll make sure that I don't have these equipped, I guess. That'll be easier.
Quite a bit of it does still work, I think, but
So I've got my
I don't
fists out, and so I'm going to jump and then enter the chair at the same time. I'm going to quick save before, just make sure it goes well. And so when you're sitting, your fists are still going to be out. But that's not really the weird part. If I steal some stuff, oh no, that's why I quick save. Make sure I didn't press E on without, If I press E and I'm not selecting something, I'll stand up. So I'll steal some stuff. Let's get a guard coming over here. He's gonna say I did a bad job being a civilian, and I'm gonna say I'd rather die. And then when they hit me, I can move.
Oh,
But I can really move. So so it's just like you have no collision. They can still hurt you. You You can't change your altitude. But it's kind of funny. I think you can like push them around. If you carry one for a while, you can like bring them out of bounds with you or something.
Oh, do it if you can.
It's hard.
It's really hard
It's hard,
because they're
yeah.
not like Velcro. They're not going to stick to you. So, but you guys can mess with that at home. I like showing you guys things that you can do too. So yeah, just find a chair, have your fists out, and then jump. And then while you're in the air, sit in the chair. And then make sure you have some stuff so you can steal, so the guards come over and attack you. That's probably the easiest way to do it is here. So yeah, that's cool. And there's one more left. So in the run, I did that up warp to Throat of the World and also the Thalmor Embassy. I'll actually do the Thalmor Embassy one because it's probably easier to look at. No, I'll do the Throat of the World one. So what happens when you actually up warp when you're in a ghost tilt? If I was in third person, you guys would be able to see that, and it looks really weird and wrong. I'm actually going way too fast for this, but it's fine because I can just go into first person to stop the speed. Oh, crashes. That was actually the first crash of the whole thing. It
Yeah.
typically crashes like 10 times. So, yeah,
I honestly not sure. That might be a marathon first.
to never have a crash during like an Elder Scrolls, for just like Skyrim run. It didn't crash during Oblivion either.
Yeah.
Well, technically, we're not during the run right now, if you think about it.
Hey.
Hey. Come on. When you load this game, it doesn't like to crop properly. So, yeah, I'll just get back on the horse. And I'll tilt off the tanning rack. And this gives me a chance to get a little less speed, too. Yeah, that should be fine. And then use the tanning rack one, go to Throat of the World. And so when you upwarp from a ghost tilt, your character is disembodied from its own camera. And so that would be weird in itself, but it's even weirder what your body does when your camera's not around to help it out. So I'm going to up warp up here, that's cool, but then when I'm in third person. And so you can keep moving as well.
Yep.
No
I don't-
way, dude.
I don't have like an explanation.
No way. No way.
It's just beautiful. And
And right now, there are other ways to kind of trigger at least a very similar state, where basically your the camera and the character are desynced, like the locations are desynced, and the game, because of what points to what and how it handles the programming and stuff, just doesn't handle it well. So this is the result.
yeah. If I switch chunks though, this game loads things in chunks. So if I switch
Yeah.
chunks and go over here, my character will just fix itself. Just give it a sec. There it goes.
Hey. Oh, now you're flying. Okay.
It's like, hey, nothing bad happened to me. So yeah, that was Skyrim. And
What is happening?
well, I don't have anything to land on, so I'm just like doing this.
Gravity?
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Skyrim. I'll be back later on in the marathon to run Dark Souls, and there's also a glitch exhibition for that as well, so which will open up in the coming days. So keep an eye out for that and donate for that if you want to see those glitches as well, which are also pretty funny. And yeah, I appreciate you all very much, and stay tuned for the upcoming runs. Thanks for having me back, world.
Cool. That was the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim main quest by BubblesDelFuego. In just a couple of minutes, we will have an interview by our very own Spike Vegeta with Bubbles. In the meantime, I'm going to send you over to some ads, so stay tuned. Welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2018, sponsored by Twitch, raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. In just a couple of moments, we will be turning it over to an interview by Spike Vegeta, of the runner of the Elder Scrolls games, BubblesDelFuego. 1 in 5 Americans lives with a mental health condition, and with May being Mental Health Month, we at RPG Limit Break are proud to be raising money for NAMI. NAMI stands for National Alliance on Mental Illness, a charity who works tirelessly towards cracking the code of mental illness through various means such as education, leadership, and the availability of care. Please join RPG Limit Break in supporting such a worthy cause. Coming up for the next run, we have a donation incentive to fight the Pizza Elemental, a bonus boss. That's currently sitting at $642.54 out of $1,000. So if you want to see that, be sure to get your donations in right away. On that note, we have a $100 donation from Slytherin42. Here's my part to help fight the Pizza Elemental and to support a wonderful cause like NAMI. Best of luck to all the runners, and thanks to all the staff and volunteers that make these marathons happen. We have a $100 anonymous donation. Happy birthday, Dave's sister. And we have $100 from Imstossible. I'm loving the Elder Scrolls runs. This is a great event, and NAMI helps so many people. Remember, kids, skooma damages your intelligence. All right, I'll turn it over to Spike Vegeta, who's going to be interviewing BubblesDelFuego.
I'm glad you're here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2019. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's been a great week so far. We're setting up for Quest for Glory. We're going to get all 5 of those suckers in a row. But before that, we had Oblivion and Skyrim by our runner right here, BubblesDelFuego. It's because your name is Bubbles, so I went runners.
There's one of me.
Yeah, there's a singular. So first thing I got to ask you, very related question. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Topping.
Or toppings, like you can go, like, I don't want to limit you. This isn't like a special we're running right now.
Probably sausage.
Oh, your sausage, man?
Yeah, I like it when it's like either, ground and crumbled, or either, it got some sliced sausage on there, so, yeah.
I think Canadian bacon's pretty good.
Oh, meatball's also really good.
I don't think I've ever had a meatball. It's a little bit too much. Like I've had meatball off of pizza. Anyways, so we're bringing this up because we are actually raising money right now to fight the Pizza Elemental boss in the upcoming Quest for Glory run. We actually just got a big, maybe a couple donations, maybe one big one, not sure, but we are at $600-something out of that 1,000 we need. And again, I don't know what that boss looks like, but it's got pizza in the title, so it must be delicious. And I want to see it fought. So make sure you're getting your donations. You guys have until the end of this next Quest for Glory run. So again, we are joined by BubblesDelFuego. First of all, how'd you feel about your runs, man?
They're
You
perfect.
came both under estimate. I saw it.
Just like ask me a question, they immediately talk.
You've done this with me before. You know how it works.
So they were good. They were both underestimate, perfectly as planned. I didn't really practice them much either, but you don't really have to. It's sort of like if you just know how to do it, you can just come back to it. It's not like I'm going to get better at the game in one day. So the one thing I do regret was not noticing that I had like one key binding not set up, but it all worked out. It was only like 30 seconds of time loss. And so we have our estimates, so we give ourselves flexibility so we can have room for those mistakes. So we can remove the stress. It would be stressed if I had to get like a record right there, but
Sure.
I don't have to do that.
No, it just gets to be a showcase right now.
Yeah, and they were really good. Couldn't ask for better. They were nice couch too. It was fun.
So you had a quality couch. Yeah. Some of them I heard learned the tutorial before they got onto the couch.
Yeah. There's like no other like Elder Scrolls runners here besides like myself and Alec K. So Dave Stereo. He can pop in right here. He's like this.
Hey.
Dave.
Look at all the majestic hair we had on screen at that moment.
Just
Hope someone got a snap of that.
there's
Yeah,
like
what's
lightning. Just So yeah, I bumped into him last night, and I was just like, I'm running Oblivion and Skyrim in the morning, and he was like, hey, I'll just like learn them overnight and be on the couch. And I'm like, okay. And he knew a surprising amount of like both games by the time that happened. So that was something I really appreciated. I expected nobody to be on the couch until like.
Aw. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
They can't hear you right now, but that's very sweet of you.
He said some terrible stuff.
So I want to ask you a little bit about just Bethesda runs in general, the Fallout series, the Elder Scrolls series. What is your favorite aspect of bringing those to a marathon and like getting to showcase them?
I thought you were going to do the whole, like, you got your Fallouts.
I actually thought about making that joke.
You got your Fallouts.
But I was like, 3 of us will laugh. And you got your Fallouts. You got your Skyrims. Yeah. What's your favorite aspect of getting to showcase those?
They're, I don't know. I just love making people mad. So, like, all the people that are so casual are like, that's not how you play Skyrim. Just like, I bought them, play how I want. And so, like, what are you going to do? So, yeah, that's like a really satisfying part about it. God, just seeing the pure rage and then my smile.
Absolutely.
So there's that. But in all seriousness, they are like big favorites of mine in the past. And so when I looked into like running them, because if you should ever get into speedrunning, you should play a game and run a game that you've played a lot before. There's no good starting speed game for anybody. It's just whatever game you can see yourself not getting tired of and playing over and over. So that's what I did. I would like look up Fallout 3, and that was like my first record. And then I got into Oblivion, and then Fallout 4, and then Skyrim, and Where's Waldo. And so those are all the Bethesda games that I run.
You actually run Where's Waldo, right?
I do run Where's Waldo. That is a Bethesda game. Yes.
I'm waiting for the 4-way race one day. Watching submissions for that for GDQ. I'm like, this is hype.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone hasn't seen this, but this is hype. So I want to talk a little bit also about, again, this was, you had, first time at an RPG Limburg, you got 3 whole runs in.
Yeah.
Already took down both these games. You got Dark Souls coming up Friday night, I believe. Now, I am, funny enough, I'm actually on your couch for this.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I want to ask him, like, so what can we expect out of Dark Souls? But I know you were like, I don't want Spike to know about the Dark Souls run so that I'm surprised by it. Because I just played it. I don't know what this is going to look like. So you have 5 words or less. What can we expect out of the Dark Souls run in 2 days?
It's easy. You're just bad.
I feel personally attacked. That's actually a really good response. Okay, so then let's not talk about that one then. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Somehow you're going to beat that game in like 45 minutes. I played that game. It took like 45 hours. So I'm excited to see. Don't judge me for that. That's probably like a pretty good. I killed all the bosses.
I said, oh. I was like letting you know I was listening to you.
Yeah.
Like, but it's really slow. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know. It's like.
You only got 5 words. Let's talk about.
I took a long time my first casual playthrough as well.
Oh, okay.
It's fine, yeah.
Okay. So let's also talk about, one of the first, I believe this is the first time we've actually seen a Souls game at an RPG limit break.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you in control of the games committee, like for the next RPG limit break or one of the future ones. What is the next Souls game / category that you think would be a really good showcase in the future?
Not Dark Souls 2.
Okay, absolutely.
Whatever game that you want, not that one.
The camera operator, what you want.
Probably, if this counts, Sekiro.
Absolutely.
It's newly released. I think it counts as a Souls game. It's Souls-like. The All Beads Memories run is super cool. Seeing all that get done. So if somebody can run that, there's so many runners of that category now. That'd be really cool.
About to say, have you messed with it at all, or you just kind of watched?
It's a very big commitment. It's something kind of like if you wanted to beat Zoast in Super Metroid, you'd have to like commit your life to it. And so I realized I would have to commit too many hours. And I needed to play Oblivion, Skyrim, Dark Souls, and I've been running Batman Arkham City as well. And I've been like dabbling in Soten Randomizer. And like I don't have
Dude,
time.
is that fun?
It is so much fun.
Yay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Randomizers have been awesome lately.
Yeah.
I've been doing like Zooter and all this stuff.
Dark Souls has a randomizer as well. So
Yes, it does. Oh, it does. It's so good.
It's fun.
I'm glad we just get to nerd out about the
Yeah.
randomizers right now. Guys, one more question before I let you out of here. You just talked about all those projects. What is that immediate project you're going back to after RPG Limit Break? Is it Arkham City?
This weekend I might play a little bit of my RPG Limit Break games just because I know there's some new people that'll probably be interested in either myself or those games, and just a little opportunity to say hi to them and thank them, and yeah, just that. Maybe just Dark Souls because I can polish up on that game a little bit. I'm pretty set for Oblivion and Skyrim for now. But yeah, I want to get back to Batman Arkham City, doing easy any % with that, and spending time with my boys Wild Mouse and Rom Scout and Epic Kai, and just doing some Soten Randomizer. It's super fun. So
Would you play Dark Souls Rando with me?
you know, I sent you a message on Discord saying when are we going to do Dark Souls Randomizer, and you never got back to me.
What? No. I'm sorry. I never look at my phone.
That's okay.
I have my phone right here.
You're looking at it.
Yeah, it just blocks all your messages. I'm sorry.
I know that.
We'll get pizza afterwards.
Yeah, sure we are. We're not friends off camera.
Like we're mortal enemies after this. I want to remind you guys, so we're about to kick it up for the Quest for Glory collection. Again, you're going to get all 5 of those suckers. But reminder that we have a bunch of awesome prizes that you guys can actually donate and get into a drawing for. It started actually at the beginning of Bubbles Elder Scrolls runs, and it will go all the way through the Planescape Torment run. So you got 3 more runs to get those in. We've got some like amazing artwork here. First of all, if you just donate $5 during the course of these runs, and I'm going to need some help because these are aggressively rolled, you can get into the drawing for either one of these 2. We have 2 of them. Quest for Glory 2 posters. It's looking beautiful. I'm trying to be careful with them.
And there are 2 of them.
Yes, and there are, it's double back. It's not, you don't get.
Quest for Glory 2 posters.
Awesome looking posters. For only $5, you can get into the drawings for those.
They look like really, like somebody made that like in like Photoshop like really nicely.
Yeah, very, very nice. And we also got right here, this one's just a big one. I'll let you get to hold with me as well. This is an art print of, I'm probably saying the name wrong, the Arana piece. We had the runner see this beforehand. He was like, that is absolutely gorgeous. So, again, shout-outs to all the prizes that are given to us that we can put up for you guys for things you can get into drawings for throughout the course of this marathon. And so that is only $10 to get into the drawing for that. Also, the Quest for Glory collection. If you want all these games you're about to watch, $5 for that. And if you do all this stuff and you throw in a minimum of $100 throughout the course of the marathon, that can be cumulative, then you're in that grand prize drawing for the Nintendo Switch, coming with 4 awesome RPGs that you're going to see at this marathon: Octopath Traveler, The World Ends With You, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So an absolutely stacked grand prize. All these awesome prizes we got coming up for you guys. So with that, we'll kick it up to the front for the Quest for Glory collection run. Hope you guys enjoy.
Bye.
Cool. Thanks, Spike and Bubbles. You're watching RPG Limit Break 2019. In just a couple of minutes, we will be showing Quest for Glory Collection by David TKI. While we finish getting set up for that, I have some more ads for you, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2018. We have a $500 donation from Andrew97 who says, "Fight the pizza." And with that, we have officially met the donation incentive to fight the pizza elemental in our upcoming run. We have a $10 anonymous donation saying, "I'm a big fan of all the Quest for Glory games, including Sea Quest for Glory, Quest 64 for Glory, Simon's Quest for Glory, Left for Glory, The Seventh Guest for Glory, Finding Glory, Toy Glory, and Cave Glory." Donating for a chance to get that sweet print of Varana's piece and to see that pizza elemental. Come on, everyone, let's have a pizza party. Well, lucky for us, we are getting the pizza party. Thanks to all of your donations that made that happen. All right, I'm pleased to note that we now have a donation incentive for the upcoming run of Planescape Torment. You have the opportunity to choose the fate of Trias the Betrayer. That is, you can donate to kill him or to save him. That sounds familiar. Anyway, that run is in just a few hours, so be sure to get your donations in if you care one way or the other about that. I'm also pleased to announce that for the upcoming run of Quest for Glory Connection, we have a real treat for you folks. The developers of the game, Corey Cole and Lori Cole, will be joining us for commentary, so look forward to that. You're watching RPG Limit Break 2019, sponsored by Twitch, proudly supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. To get involved in the fight against mental illness and the stigmas it can bring, reach out to NAMI via their state organizations or on Facebook, where they can be found as NAMI, on Instagram and Twitter as @NAMICommunicate, or check out their Tumblr blog, notalone.nami.org. It's not a weakness to need help. Reach out if you think you need help. You still have a few moments to get in donations for the file name for Quest for Glory Connection. You can name the hero. Currently in the lead is Geld with $25. You also have the opportunity to choose the version of the first game which is being run. Currently, the original EGA version of the game is in the lead at $150. We have a $50 donation from Balina Mahigan. Head moof here, just making sure that we stick our nose in where it doesn't belong. Quest for Glory practically defined my sense of humor, and I had to chime in when I found out it's in this morning. And on that note, we now have a new file name for Quest for Glory collection. It is Balina at $50. We have $50 from Crom. Shout out to the runner who's the EGA hero. How far east did you really come from anyway? As a reminder for the upcoming run, we do have several prizes you can put in donations for. We have a lovely art print of Uranus Peace, a prominent location from the first game in the series. A minimum $10 donation will enter you in for that prize. We also have a lovely poster of Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire, for which you need to donate a minimum of $5. And you can also earn yourself a copy of the Quest for Glory collection itself, also at $5. We have an anonymous $50 donation with no comment, but that now means we have a tie for the hero's name. Also at $50 is Ego. Currently, that still means that Balina will be the hero's name. If you want to pick one or the other, now's the time to get your donation in. We have a $75 donation from Set Zero Mess. I won't let you down, Slowpoke. That now means that the file name for our Quest for Glory will be Slowpoke at $75. I have a $20 donation from Crack Troop. I Heart RPG Limit Break 2019. It did.